Hello guys, and welcome to Paint with Mark. I thought today we'd have just a real bit of fun. So if any of you follow the stock market, you know that the Wall Street bet guys, these guys here, I've done a little template like so. See this little character? I thought we'd paint a little character today and just have a little bit of fun, something a little bit different, something really easy to do. So, as I said, I've printed out a little template from the internet, and I've just drawn around him and I've put it on my little bit of this is a 12 by 8 little bit of board, canvas board, and the colours that I'm going to use in today are, I've got some orange, titanium white, black, I've got some permanent red, I've got a little bit of flesh colour, I've got some yellow. I've mixed some yellow and some orange together, okay, to get his hair. I've mixed some flesh colour with a little bit of yellow to line it down, and a little bit of white inside there to give him his flesh colour. And then I've added a little bit of red and a little bit of black into this pile here to give the dark shadows around there. So I think that's all we need to do. And we've got some red for his tie. So the first thing, as always guys, is I'm going to use liquid white. Okay, liquid white. I'm just going to apply that across the canvas, and hopefully we should see some outline behind. So a nice simple one to do. I'm just using this is an inch flat brush, and I've also got a 1/2 inch flat brush, a liner brush, little mixing knife, and a 1 inch brush, just a 1 inch brush. Okay, so first thing I do is, as always, just crisscross strokes across the whole canvas. Just light crisscross strokes over the whole lot. And this is a dry board, so it's probably going to suck heavily in this. It's going to dry out really quick, but I'm not worried. As you can see, I'm going over my outline, but because this is quite thin, you can still see roughly the outline in the background to give us a guide. A lot of people say it's cheating, but it's not cheating. We just use it as a guide, and we're going to go over the top with oils. So these are oil paints, if anyone's inquiring. Some people obviously use acrylics, but I do sometimes, but today we're going to be using the oil paints. Again, this is just a silly little, fun one, because it's on topic at the moment, and my daughter asked me if I could paint it, and I said, who knows where I'll go. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day, and that's what it's all about. Painting is just a matter of just having fun, you know, just having a go, picking up some paint, and just saying, oh, I don't even know what it's going to turn out like, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so that's that done, and I think what we do is we'll put the character in first. So I'll do a light sort of light colour. I might actually do a very light blue, so let me get some blue. What have we got here? A little bit of phthalo blue, so a very tiny amount of phthalo blue I'll put down here. Just want it very light, just to give it a bit of dusting. So actually I'm going to get that same brush that's already got the liquid white in, and I'm going to go in some white first, and just into a little bit of blue, and back into the white. I just want it very, very, very light, so I'm going to keep going into the white, and then come up to the canvas. I'm just going to do little strokes just around the outside of our character, and you might not be able to see this on the video, but I want it very, very subtle, so very, very soft, just a sort of bluey hint. Just think it'll look a little better than just the white background. So I'm literally just doing crisscross strokes. I'm going to take him over his head, down the side, around his arms, think it just adds a little bit more. It will just set him back a little bit more in the picture. Again, you might apologise if you can't see it on the video. I just don't want it that bright. Take away from the actual picture itself. So I'm just going around his arms, around his hair, and I just go backwards and forwards, up and down. Just being a bit careful not to go over too much of my under sketching that I've done. So that's all I can do, and hopefully you can see it in there. It's got a bit of a blue colour, a little bit of blue tint, which is really what I'm looking for, really. So I'm going to go into my 1/2 inch flat brush. Just make sure that's got everything out, and I'm going to go into this orange colour for his hair. I'm going to put his hair in first, so I'm just going to literally just pick up some colour and come into here and start putting some bright colour in, follow the outline of picture around here, and I'm going to break the hairlines up with some black and the same in the picture. But really at the end of the day I'm just following the outline, and I'm just getting this colour on there. And then there's another line that goes down here, so all the time I'm just following my guidelines, really. Now what I tend to do is I'll leave a little gap between this bit and this bit, little light line, just a tiny little line as I'm doing it, just to give me an idea where I'm going to have to put some black in there for his hairline. So just give me a little guide there, and there's another bit that comes around here, and again I'm just leaving very thin line in between the hair, so you can see where the hair quiffs are going to be, which knows I'm going to put some black in there. It's just going to make life easier for me, really. His hair comes out and it comes up like this, and then it comes around here. It's got sort of a few little bits coming off the side there, and this one comes in there like so. So basically we've got his hair bits done, which is quite easy to do, nice and easy. We don't want nothing too hard for us to do in this game. Nice and easy. Okay, so the hair's done now, so I think the next thing we're going to do the flesh. So I'm just going to get a little bit of tissue, just a little bit of tissue paper, and I'm going to squeeze the brush into this tissue paper, just squeezing out, just getting most of the colour out. I'm not too worried. There's going to be a little bit of colour in there, I'm not too worried about. And I'm going to come up to my light flesh colour, so I'll pull it one way, the other way, bending the bristles, and again I'm just going to come up here. Apologise if you see the side of my head, and I'm just going to put this flesh colour in here, come down to his glasses. Literally I'm just blending this in. I've done it a little bit darker so you can see. I might just lighten it just a touch. If I lighten it too much, it doesn't show up too much on the videos, but obviously when you do yours you can lighten this up a bit more. It's a little bit too dark, but again it'll be fine for this demonstration. That's the main thing it's all about. Having a go and having a bit of fun. Hopefully you are going to follow along with this, guys, because it's a fun little picture to do. It's just a fun little picture. Again, my daughter will be surprised when I've done it. She was interested in me doing this, so I just thought, why not? If any of you made any money from the shares, then good luck to you too. So a little bit of white, a little bit of this flesh colour. I come down the side here, with his glasses, sunglasses here. Literally I'm just following the guidelines, his chin, down here, underneath the glasses. Obviously this, as I'm putting it on, the colours mix in with the white, so it will lighten it up a little bit more, but hopefully you should see the effect we're trying to achieve. So, going now down the side with his ears, the outside of his ears are the light colour, so I'm going to go around the outside of the ear, and this is using the light colour still, like so. And then I'm going to put a bit of dark inside, and there's a little bit of dark there on this side. So I'm going to go over to the little bit of darker mix, pull it one side and the other side, which is using slightly darker mix. I'm going to do a little bit of hair that comes down from here. And again, this is only a subtle, slightly darker. Hopefully you can see it. I'll make it a little bit darker so you can see it a bit more. And then the inside of his ear, it's got this dark colour, just the inside of the ear here, which is the main thing. And then I've got I'm going to do his hands, and I'm going to use the slightly darker colour with his hands and some of the lighter colour, so it's half and half, a little bit of white, and then I'm going to start on his hands. So his fingers, you've got the palm, hands here. Again, you could use a liner brush if you wanted to on this part. Depends how careful you are really at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. Being careful. Put it in, so if you can see that, his hand on there. And I go to the other side and I'll do the same with the other one, just fill it in here. Just round here. Some shading and some pieces in a minute once we've got his fingers all sort of drawn in. So that's that basics of what I'm going to do on his hands. And I'm not too fussed. Put a bit more light there for his nose, going to be in a minute. So a little bit of dark on that side of the nose, just so you will see that I'm going to do the nose there. So that's that part there. We've got some white here and here, and we've got some white inside, so I'm going to do that first. So again, I'm going to wipe my 1/2 inch, I'm going to put it into a little bit of thinners and pull it between the tissue, like so, just to get rid of most of that colour. And then I'm going to go into some neat white, neat titanium white, and I'm going to do his cuffs. Actually, just put this in. So when I put the little bit of blue around there, this will make the white show out a bit more now because I did the light blue colour. There. And the same on this side, this cuff. Again, you can go over this as many times as you want if you need to, build up the paint. Just about is enough. And then I'm going to come inside on this shirt. I've got a shirt collar here. And I'm going to outline all this with the black in a minute, so it's really going to make it stand out. And these little flat brushes are really handy to do, really easy to use. Just keep reloading it up. Again, I'm just following the lines that I've done underneath, guys. This isn't difficult. Really easy to do. So that's our white done. Now I'm going to do the little red dye in there. So squeeze it between the tissue. I'm going to go into the permanent red colour, and very lightly I can just put in the red. Hopefully you are following along, guys, and if you are enjoying this video, I appreciate if you like, comment and subscribe, so I can continue to do these little tutorials for you, and we can all have a bit of fun when we're at home and we can't go out to work. So some people say that they don't always like doing a Bob Ross style. It's all very similar pictures, so I like to mix it up a little bit for you and have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to do a little bit, a couple of red dots on here. So there and there, dots. Okay, so those like little buttons there. And now the next part I think we're going to do is we're going to put the black for his jacket. Be nice, all the sunglasses next. Doesn't matter which way we do it. But I'm going to squeeze the tissue, get rid of the red. I'll go into little thinners. I've got a little pot of thinners in here, guys. A little bit of a rub on this gauze on the top here, very lightly. You know, you don't need a lot, but it is odorless thinner. And squeeze it in the tissue. And I'm going to go into some neat black here. I'm just going to fill in the arms. So being careful of the white, the sleeves. Obviously what this is going to do is, again, it's going to mix in a little bit with the white. So it's become a sort of grey colour, and the more you move this brush around, the more it's going to blend in, and the lighter it will become, so it becomes sort of grey colour, which is pretty good. So I'm just following the shape first. Where's the lapel? Down here. Now it's good that as you do this, you sort of follow the shape or the way that the jacket would hang, and as I'm pulling the brush down, it's creating little lines in his jacket automatically for me, which is good. So I'm only loading up the sort of once on his arm, and as I'm coming down I'm just sort of pulling down, and then I'm going to add some more darks in under there in a moment. So back. Pretty relaxing picture to do, as you can see. Very easy. Follow the lapels. So, look downwards. Like that. As you can see that. Hopefully you can see the video as I'm pulling it out, there's a bit of white coming down, so it's not all one black blob, it's mixing up with the colours underneath the white, so it's pulling bits of the white down as well, so it's becoming grey, so it looks like it's creating texture in his jacket when I'm not really doing anything, which is good, because I like to be lazy, as you know, lazy painter. Now I'll reload again, and I'll come back into the inside of the lapel, which is here. Like so. other side so I can see where I'm going. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this up and put more dark on this part here. This part of the lapel. So I'm actually going into the black a lot more on the lapels. So the lapels are a little bit darker. So it creates a little bit of contrast between the other part of the jacket. Hopefully you can see that on the video. So this becomes darker. The other side. Just following the paint underneath, guys, that's all I'm doing. Following the pattern underneath. So hopefully you can see that this part I've done on the top of the lapels stand out a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that they stand a little bit more. So let's get on with these sunglasses. Again, you can use a liner brush if you want. I might use a liner brush in a minute, but I just want to get the glasses filled in to start with. Again, this flat brush, providing that you keep putting in the colour and bending the bristles, it will become nice and easy to do. You've got a nice sharp chiselled edge. That's what we're looking for. With the nose, colour. Eyes. Again, if you want to do this with your liner brush, you're more than welcome to do it with your liner brush, whichever you find easier to do. Some people find the liner brush will be a lot easier to do for them. And again, when you're doing yours, you're going to have a lot more time to do it. I'm just doing this as a quick tutorial for you guys. People asked me to do things that are a bit different to Bob Ross, so here you are. This is a bit different than the old Bob Ross pictures. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his mouth in and nose, and his nose is just a little line. So I think I'll use a liner brush now. I'll move over to a liner brush. So what I tend to do with a liner brush, again, you do want it sort of more inky consistency, so I'm going to go into the thinners. I'm going to go up to my black. I'm just going to spin it around. And you do want to make sure that you mix in colour with this. So a lot of people, they just put loads and loads and loads of thinners and they've got no colour, so you keep spinning it around and mixing the colour in with the thinner. So you have got colour on there. And then I'm going to come up to his nose, spin this around to make sure, pull it down, so I don't want to have too much on there. I don't want too much on the end of this. And I'm just going to do a little point. So it's just got a little nose that comes out and round like that, and a little mouth. It's just dark. It's not too big. Just do this a little bit bigger, like so. Right, so that's most part. Now we've got the delicate part. We're going to use the liner brush again. Keep going into the thinners, and we're going to go around the actual picture itself. So go into the black, spin it around. As again, I like to spin this around a lot and pull it down. Go into the thinners again. Again, when you've got yours will be flat, so it'll be easier to do. It's a bit harder for me with the paint up like this because it will run down, but it's fine. Alright, I'm going to come into, I'm going to go around the edges now, so I'm going to go around the whole lot, right around the edges. I'm going to start down the bottom here, got a nice edge around here, go back into the colour, and I'm just going to do his lapel, dark, and hopefully on the video it's showing up for you. Every time I do the stroke, I'll go back into my paint, do another line, spin it around, a little bit more thinners, spin it around, come this side, line, there's a little line under there, the crease is, so I'll just do a few little lines under there where the crease is underneath his arms, and then come down for his lapel, a little V, and just take the line down, going back into the thinners, and again I'm just going to spin this around the black, just spin it around and put it down so you don't get too much of a blob on the end. Come in here and put his collar in. His collar. Go around his tie. So, little thinners. Okay, this is easy for you to do, guys. Really is easy for you to do. If I get enough likes and comments below, I will upload a little template for you, and you can download that and draw around that as well. So I'm going to move on to his cuff. So I'll do his little cuff here. Around. I'll come this side and do his cuff. Again, you can do it whichever way you want. Some people like doing bits and flick the other side, you know, I like to flick backwards and forwards sometimes. Again, mix it around in the colour. Now I'm going to come do his hand. So I'm going to come out here, around his fingers. Like so. Okay, go back into the colour, and do this one. Again, this bit's a little bit fiddly, but I should do a few, be fine. Again, you can keep going in and correcting as much as you want, but again, as I keep saying, we just want this a little bit of fun. Just some fun. Chin. The outside, and go back into my colour again. And then we've got the quiffs. We've got the lines that separate the quiffs. So I'm just going to put a few markings in here. So that's it. Nice. You can always rub that with your finger if you need to. So a bit more thinners. Spin it around. These can be a little bit thicker, these lines on here. So I'm going to start from here, come all around the outside. There's one. Part of his quiff. Into his next one. Second part. Come on to his next part. And next bit. Keep loading up the black. Like so. And then he's got a little bit around here. Three little bits around there. Okay, on those part like that. And I'm just going to go around the sunglasses just to make sure the sunglasses are more round. So I'm just going to go around the outside of these just to straighten this up a little bit. Again, don't worry if you've got your shaky hand, because you can just keep going over and messing with it all the time, you know, it just keeps going back and messing with it. Around the outside of the buttons, just a little bit of a colour on the outside of there, and then I'm just going to wipe the brush, a little bit of tissue, and then I'm just going to go into a little bit of white, a little bit of thinners. Just get a little bit of white, so it's a sort of, because I've got a little bit of black on there, it's a sort of grey colour, so just a grey sort of tinge. Hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to do the rims just on the side, a little bit of a, as if the light's catching just around there. So I'm basically going to put my finger on there to guide myself, and then I'm just going to come around the side here and just put a line like so, and then the same with this one. Put it down the side and come around just to sort of a little bit of shadow on there. Okay, and then just on the tops of these I'm just going to put a little bit of shadow on the hair, and I'm going to use, again, I'm going to use the liner brush again, going to a little bit of dark sort of fleshy colour, a little bit of that and a little bit of this dark yellow. So get a little bit of flesh colour, a little bit of dark yellow, just so it darkens it up a little bit, and maybe just a little touch of black, but hardly anything at all. And I'm just going to do on the inside of these lines, well, sorry, on the outside of these lines, I'm just going to do a little line, run it down the side there, so act as a shadow, and I'm going to do it on all of them. Each time I do it, I'm going to load up and I touch. Hopefully it's showing on the video. It's just a little subtle dark shadow on the top part here. Hopefully it shows up a little bit more there. A little dark shadow there. Good. Okay guys, hopefully you've enjoyed my little quick picture that we ever go at. It's Mark Terrell from Paint with Mark signing off, and if you happen to do like this picture, please like, subscribe and comment below, and I'll see you soon guys. Thank you.